There is a theory going viral on TikTok at the moment that women are blaming for their singlehood. It's called the pearl earring theory. And these women are convinced now that wearing pearl earrings is possibly the culprit for why men are not approaching them and not pursuing them. It sounds so ridiculous, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So this is from InStyle. TikTok's pearl earring theory might be the reason you're still single. And the theory goes that in modern dating, wearing pearls, be them earrings or whatever else, piece of jewelry, can repel male suitors as it leaves the impression that the woman wearing them is expensive or too high maintenance of a partner. So a man will take that as a signal that she is somehow out of his league, unattainable, or has unrealistic high standards.
I laugh at the picture they use of it's a time long since forgotten where this gender issue just wasn't what it is today.
Yeah. So this is taking over all of these women's algorithms, and they're using this as an explanation for why men are too intimidated to talk to them.
So do you think this is true?
I recall that we were getting into a little back and forth yesterday about this topic, and it spans beyond just pearl earrings for sure. I'm glad we have Phil here for a third opinion, but we should listen to this TikToker, Morgan McGuire, and her... She seems to be convinced that this is the reason why she's single, and she's convinced that this is the reason why, even though she has a huge following online, she doesn't even get men sliding into her DMs.
Lol.
No, because recently I've been realizing I'm chronically single. You would think by having a big following I'd have a gluttonous amount of guys DMing me. Nope. I just found out about pearl earring theory. Why is that a thing? Are you joking? This is so fake of people to not tell me. No wonder I'm single all the time. I'm decked out in pearls. Truly, it is everywhere on everything. My nails even look... Can we just change that to gold jewelry theory? I don't think I look intimidating. If a guy comes up to me, I'm legit gonna go like this. I'll see you guys later. Bye guys, love you.
So, if we're talking about jewelry, I actually would have thought giant hoop earrings would be more of a turnoff.
I love those.
Than pearls. You have mentioned in the past that you like big dangly earrings, though.
Big hoops, yep.
Big hoops specifically?
Okay, so is that the only one
I specifically
you...
bought Sarah a couple of pairs of hoop earrings because I like them.
I think that would place you in the minority of men.
That's fine.
Okay, beyond that, do you even notice, like, what other... Like, if she's wearing earrings, do you clock it, or does it kind of just blend into the rest of her attire?
If they're long and dangly, you can't help but notice it, I feel like.
But,
like if they're, whether they be like the straight kind of like a lot of times you see like a chain and like crosses or whatever or stuff like that, those I can't help but notice. But if they're small, I probably wouldn't notice, and I probably wouldn't notice pearls either.
That was kind of my point. I was like, if it's kind of like have you ever seen the theory about like it's like the dancing bear running across the stands in the basketball game? That's what this feels like to me. So I'm like, did you see the pearl earrings? Guy will be like, what?
Right.
No.
Okay, this is what we were arguing about, because we've talked about this with a variety of different examples. I say men notice things and they don't notice that they notice things, okay? It's a subconscious thing. I think women are far more in tune with the subconscious because they're so much more engaged in their like interior lives, and men are more action oriented and more focused on what's outside of them. But everyone has a subconscious, and everyone is affected by those little things that amount to a first impression of someone. Everything you wear, all the jewelry you wear, the clothing you wear, the way that you do your hair, the way that you speak, the volume at which you speak, the accent you have, the shoes you're wearing, the way that you walk, your hand motions when you're talking, everything, all of these things add up to a first impression that you give someone, and they don't even know that they are taking in all of this information and adding it up to make an estimation of you. But there are so many assumptions that we make about people, and we have no idea that we're making those assumptions about what we believe their socioeconomic status to be, what we believe is their religious or political viewpoint, their family background. Everything that we see on someone that seems superficial, it actually has a lot of deeper meaning that we don't take into account. And I think that men do notice things like the type of jewelry a woman wears. They just don't notice that they notice it.
But that's not what they're saying here. They're laying this at the feet of one specific piece of jewelry, which is insane.
Yes. I believe that the pearl earring theory is reductive, of course, but there is a seed of truth in it, and I believe it does hold water that even something as small as the jewelry you wear makes a big impression on people.
There's a 20 there.
From Manic Mustache, late as usual, but apropos to making Kryptonian love, now to the news. Remember that your local JJ Tacos only uses the healthiest rendered animal fats and the purest imported MSG. Stay healthy, my friends.
Of course.
I would rather stay toxic. Thank you very much.
What did I watch the other day where somebody one of the mass shooting in the 70s that happened at a McDonald's, the wife tried to blame it on MSG. Anyway,
this is another thing we debated about like ages ago. Do men notice eyelashes on women? Mm-hmm. Well, they must. Otherwise, women wouldn't wear mascara, would they? It makes a difference whether or not the men looking at your eyelashes know what they're looking at.
I like eye makeup.
Well, that's an unpopular opinion too, actually.
I don't know if that's true considering how frequently women wear eye makeup.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying like there's a difference between the stated preferences of men and the revealed preferences of men.
Eye makeup meaning long lashes or eye makeup meaning eyeshadow?
Both.
So yeah, I mean I like both. Okay. So Sarah doesn't wear a lot of eye makeup and stuff, but when she does wear eye makeup, I think she looks nice. Same thing with lashes.
The issue here is that they're putting this at the feet of like one specific thing. But yes, I don't imagine men would disagree that you take in all of what somebody is to make a judgment, you know, however superficial that may be, about what or who they may be about, like what they wear, how they carry themselves. All of those things matter, right? So they're not even denying that because they're saying I don't like heavy eye makeup, which indicates that they do notice it, right? But
well, what it indicates is they only notice when it's badly done.
And for something like this, when they're talking about a specific type of earrings, I imagine guys are more prone to notice heavy makeup and what they're wearing, like their clothing, as opposed to an accessory like earrings, especially what she's wearing here, which are they were just small and understated. Like a guy's not looking at that and thinking about pearls the way pearls were thought of 30 years ago. Sure.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, here's another example that we talked about yesterday. Nails. The way a woman does her nails, that's something that you notice and you make a snap judgment. Mm-hmm. Whether it's fair or unfair, it doesn't really matter. It only matters that the truth is you're making a snap judgment. Maybe judgment isn't the right word, but you clock it and it's a judgment. It's a judgment. It's fine. It's fine. I'm pro judgment. Mm-hmm. Like, you should make your judgments and take responsibility for the way that you're judging people, and that's something we all do. Let's not deny reality. Mm-hmm. But you said if it looks like a woman is accustomed to a certain level of preening, that is your exact quotation, that's going to be something that deters you.
You look at it and you're like, they spend a lot of time looking in the mirror, which indicates a certain personality type. Now, of course, everybody can be happy to be proven wrong. You can meet a person, they could be the nicest, most selfless person in the world, but the idea that you judge a book by its cover exists for a reason.
Right. This was another viral tweet that I saw a while back. Men, how would you feel if you went on a first date with a woman and she shows up in sweatpants and a t-shirt with no makeup and her hair in a bun? And all of the replies from men were basically saying they would either feel completely neutral about it, wouldn't take it into account whatsoever about moving forward with this person, or they saw it as a positive thing because that means she's chill, laid back, and real. And that's somehow more authentic than putting in an effort.
Well, it disregards the idea that you have to ask the follow-up question, where are you going, I guess.
Of course, but it's the epitome of an inner citadel when you convince yourself that you don't desire something simply because it's actually unattainable to you or you perceive it to be unattainable to you.
I think a lot of the things that when people were having these debates, what we talked about earlier, what I said was that it makes it seem like it's less of a struggle for the dude. Right? Like if she seems easier to please, but that's like, it's a false assumption that somebody who shows up in sweatpants is chill. It might mean that they have no respect for the situation that you're entering into.
I agree. Here were a couple of takes from men that I scoured about the pearl earring theory. It's not the pearls, ladies. You using TikTok for life advice tells him that you're a vapid dingbat, easily influenced by other morons, and why deal with your nonsense when he can play Call of Duty with his friends in mommy and daddy's basement.
That might make sense for this specific woman's plight, but that's not the plight of every woman.
And then another one said, in my opinion, it's much more complicated than simply pearls. There is a fine line with each makeup, jewelry, nails, and clothing choice that screams high maintenance. Add to that piercings, tattoos, weight, and political and feminist views.
John Malinowski in the chat kind of hits the nail on it. He says, it's an oversimplified Gen Z debate. Let's have a scenario with no context. Like that's the crux of the internet. There is this pocket of people on the internet who are absolutely brilliant at creating fodder online by what did I say yesterday? I said, like, it's the most hypothetical, unrealistic scenario that's not going to have any bearing on your life. It's like man versus bear.
Right.
Like, it has no bearing on your life. It's never going to happen to you, but it fosters a debate for people that kind of fosters the divide between the sexes.
Get it? It has no bearing. Well, there are responses from women saying they're panicking about this and they're not going to wear pearl earrings anymore so that they can stop repelling men from approaching them. And there are other women who are saying, this is great news. I'm going to be decked out in pearls 24/7 so that men never bother me. And I think both takes are delusional because, as I said, it's more than just the earrings that you wear that makes the snap judgment of people.
Your demeanor.
So,
I noticed they're not talking about their demeanor.
Yeah.
She's not talking about how it's possible that her demeanor might be
which is
scaring
also
the men
completely
off.
in your control.
Yes.
And overall, I would just like people to concede that they are judgmental. Everyone is. Mm-hmm. Everyone makes snap judgments about people over superficial details and doesn't know someone's story. And I also think that's okay. Mm-hmm. I think it's okay to be judgmental and look at some superficial detail of somebody's appearance and make the subconscious assumptions that you will about them based on that, because these things matter. I'm just tired of people saying, you know, the way you do your makeup doesn't matter, the way that you dress doesn't matter. These things are so superficial and frivolous. You should be looking at someone's soul and making a judgment based on that. That's not how reality works. I just wish we could all admit that, yes, it's superficial and it matters.
The thing about it is don't track the validity of this whole debate by this woman's post. Track the validity of the debate by the amount of videos that come out saying, I took off the pearl earrings and the amount of men approaching me skyrocketed. Because I guarantee you that video doesn't exist.
True.
It's not a real thing.
True.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.